Bam. My peoples. My peoples. The month of July is stacked. Lots of fights. Whoa. Whoa. Got a little flu going on over here, but we're going to handle that. But yeah, man, the month of July is pretty stacked. Lots of fights that we're going to enjoy, that we're going to be calling. So I can't wait. Starting tomorrow, we're going to get this action. Panty sniffer, yo, we up. NYC Alex, yo, what's the deal, fellas? There's a lot of fights, my peoples, in the month of July. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna be going at it on all cylinders. Um, so yeah, man, welcome to a new edition of Boxing for Breakfast. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I'm Jay Smith. Yo, let's get it in, my peoples. He got the bird flu, man. I definitely got some type of flu. El fantasma de Geraldo Ledesma, mi brother, bendiciones. My brother, salute. Panty sniffer. Happy Friday and 4th of July, brother. You already know, my peoples. Happy Friday for those in the U.S. Happy 4th of July. Um, Yo, my peoples. July. Listen, for I'm tired of hearing people saying that boxing is down and boxing is not that good right now. And like, but those are the haters. Us who really follow boxing, we know what's going on. Boxing is on fire, my peoples. Think about the fights, the big fights that we've already seen in 2025, and the ones that are already signed to happen, that we already know will go down. Like, yo, 2025 has been an amazing year for the sport of boxing. Raina, can I learn English? Can I learn Espanol from YouTube? Yes, you could probably find somewhere on YouTube where they teach you. But I don't know. I don't know where would I refer you to. NYC Alex, Turkey saved boxing. I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if he saved it or if he's gonna doom it. Because there's people that don't want to work with him, and there's a reason for that. So we gotta see. You know, look, I've been said it before. Turkey, cool. He's done a lot of positive things for boxing, but then there's the part where he wants to have a certain level of control, and that's not good. That's not good at all. That listen, look at what Roy Jones Jr. said about the so-called no running rule that they've been talking about. Roy Jones Jr. literally said exactly what I said. You're like, nah, man, that's the dumbest thing ever. Only somebody who never laced on a pair of gloves in their lives will come up with some shit like that. Panty sniffer Jay Smith saying boxing is fire right now. While that one guy, Joe Rogan, say boxing is dead and it's an old sport. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Well, now, I think he already took that back. He already took that back. Remember, when he said those words, he actually said, look, these are the last big stars. There will be no more big stars. And MMA is going to surpass boxing. And who makes the most money? By a landslide, boxers make more money than MMA fighters. Like, it's not even close. But look at this, my peoples. I was talking about the month of July, right? Look, Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. That's tomorrow. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3. By the way, my peoples, later on we're going to be making some predictions. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted showing the predictions that you guys made, but we're going to do it again. Wow, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 3. That's going to be crazy. Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, that's July 12th. Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, July 19th. Sebastian Fondora, Tim Tszyu 2, July 19th. Manny Pacquiao, Mario Barrios, also on July 19th. So check it, my peoples. On July 19th, Usyk versus Dubois, Fondora versus Tim Tszyu 2, and Pacquiao versus Barrio, all on the same day. Manuel Flores versus Jorge Chavez, July 24th. Ryan Gardner versus Reese Bellotti, July 26th. Xander Sayas versus George Perez, July 26th. And Clarissa Shields, Lanny Daniels, July 26th. My people, the month of July is stacked. What are we talking about? NYC Alex, he putting in the money, bro. He's doing the sport the sport washing. All of Saudi doing. Yes, my brother, but the point is that you cannot dictate how fighters fight. You cannot do that. You cannot tell fighters, no, you can't do this. We want you to fight like this because it's gonna be more fun for us. You can't do that. Only people who see His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, him putting the fights together, promoting them. There's a lot of things that he does that he's doing it good. He's bringing creativity, something new, something different. I like that. But the controlling aspect that I see from His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, I'm not with it, my guy. I'm not with it. Panty Sniffer, any collaboration with Zab coming up? Both of y'all funny when you meet. The N-word be dropping every second. It slip out sometimes. It tend to, when you feel comfortable with people, things happen and they be that way. But I'm going to be dropping, me and Zab Judah, we met up a couple of times. That was in 2023. And I'm going to drop a couple of more videos today from that conversation. We actually had a real good conversation. He predicted how Devin Haney was going to beat Regis Prograis, and we had a real good conversation. So I'm going to be dropping more videos where you get to see Zab and I talking. NYC Alex, boxers make more money, but the UFC has been breaking records and more money, but the UFC has been, and worst thing about it, fighters get whooped worse and pay less. Uncle Dana selfish. The thing about Dana White is that he has a monopoly. He has a monopoly. And what makes it, UFC, if you think about it, the way they run it, that shit is crazy. Fighters, they cannot advertise nothing for themselves or make a little extra money trying to get advertisement because they got to wear UFC-related advertisement on the gear when they're going to fight. Like, there's a lot of things that make it like, in full 100% control of Dana White. I don't know. I'm not with it, man. I'm not with it. Pierre Oliver Dalier, Berlanga Shiraz. I really like that fight, my guy. I really like it. I think, like I've said it before, I've been down on Edgar Berlanga simply because he hasn't looked good in some of his last outings. And I want to see what he's going to do versus Hamza Shiraz, who's a proven fighter, who's a guy that is going to bring it on that night. And Wasi Alex, when you rich like Saudi Arabia, you can make it rain whenever you want. It's not about making it rain, my brother, because we as the fans, we not entertained by him making it rain. We not getting any of that money. We getting entertained by what goes down in the ring. So I don't want, especially somebody who never boxed a day in their life, trying to tell fighters what they need to do inside the ring. That's crazy work. It's a combat sport. You could get killed out there. Don't tell me how I gotta fight or how you want me to fight to entertain you. That's nasty work, bro. Kazim Hussein, J. Smith, my peoples. Long time, bro. Listening in the UK, Wales, Cardiff. Ooh, my brother Kazim Hussein. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in, my guy. You already know. We talking boxing. The month of July is really, really stizzacked. Lots of fights. Tomorrow, Jack Catterall, Harlem Eubank, they're going to go at it. We're going to see fireworks. We're going to see explosive missiles. Panty Sniffer, Zab better than more boxers right now. Oh, wait a minute, Zab Judah. Come on, my guy, of course. Zab, a legit top-notch elite level fighter. That's without a doubt. He an icon. NYC Alex, they are a monopoly. They are. Panty Sniffer, that's true. UFC could not let you do your own promotion. It's only decided by their daddy, Dana White. I don't like the way they run it. The most popular MMA promotion in the world, but I don't like the way it's ran. NYC Alex, UFC does have a good system though, where big names do duck less than in boxing. That's a fact. That's a fact. In UFC, They make, but you know what it is, my brother. Part of it in UFC, they do make all those big fights, but it's because it takes a lot less money to make them, because Dana pockets most of the money and give the fighters breadcrumbs. It's different in boxing when you got two big star fighters where this guy's saying, well, I want 20 million, and that guy's saying, I want 10 million. Now the purse just for the main event becomes $30 million. It's not the same for Dana White, where he's gonna pay this guy 1.5 million, and that's a career payday, and the other guy is 600,000, and that's a career payday. It's a different ball game. So when it's more money on the table and more people, with lawyers behind them and trying to make it happen, it's harder to make the fights. In UFC, you pretty much do what the hell Dana White tells you. So he's like, yo, you and y'all gonna fight. Okay, let's go. It is what it is. Panty sniffer. What if MMA promotions type were like boxing does? Boxing will still be the biggest sport. I mean, the thing is, it's not even about promotion. You have to understand, boxing is a sport that's been around before it even had a name. Like, they find caves, caves, where there's people, like drawn, like carved into the caves from prehistoric time. Like, people been boxing. That's been the most pure combat sport since the beginning of time. So no sport is ever gonna replace boxing as a combat sport. It's not gonna happen. Bank OZ can't come any faster, bro. I'm telling you, September is super stacked. Super stacked. There's too many fights. We're gonna enjoy all of these. All of these, my people. And y'all know I'm gonna be calling them, so I'm gonna be super busy in July, because I'm all these fights. Well, not all of them. There's a couple of them that I'm not gonna call, but most of these fights I'm gonna be calling them. NYC Alex, I feel boxing is better for the fighters. They risking their lives for entertainment. One punch can change everything, and they not only paying six figures. Sheesh. But that's what I'm telling you. If one punch can change everything, one punch can kill you. How you, who never boxed a day in your life, gonna tell me how I should fight? You're gonna tell me, nah, you can't run, you can't move, you can't. This is how you're gonna fight. What? You're not in the ring getting punched in the face. You're not risking your life. How about you get in the ring and fight with those rules and show me what you're talking about? So nah, man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I understand you saying that you want to make it exciting, but let the fighters fight how they fight, because they out there risking their lives. Max, bro, anchor punch Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was that dude. Mike Tyson, special fighter. Panty sniffer. Any news about Bivol? Since ducking David, I don't hear about him. I mean, they're set up. It's gonna be Bivol versus Beterbiev. They're gonna do the trilogy fight. They're gonna fight a third time. I mean, I felt like we didn't need the trilogy. The trilogy. I felt like we didn't need it simply because, look, we got 24 rounds of action between them. And Bivol versus Beterbiev, both fights were super competitive. They both went at it. I felt like Bivol should have went and fought David Benavidez for Undisputed, to defend the Undisputed crown, and then circle back to Beterbiev for that trilogy. They didn't have to go 36 rounds back to back, so that's my take on it. It is going to be a good fight. I expect it to be very competitive. I got Bivol winning the third one as well. He already got Beterbiev figured out. I think he walks away with the W. Boxing on paper, yo, Jay. You seen the sparring footage of Schofield and Mason? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They both landed some good shots, but you could see that Abdullah was getting the best of them. Abdullah was definitely getting the best of them. However, you can't make too much of that sparring session because we don't know when it took place. And, obviously both young men developing as fighters. So you can't really put too much into that. But Abdullah was definitely putting hands on him. NYC Alex, well, Turkey can say whatever. But like Crawford said, he's going to fight how he's going to fight. But that's Terrence Crawford. He don't take no shit. You're not going to see a lot of fighters with Turkey standing right there, right next to him, Say, oh, I don't care what anybody say. I'm going to fight my fight. You're not going to get a lot of people saying that, bro. Panty sniffer. Dana White wants the fighters to look good and make them wear the stuff he wanted and do everything he wanted. That's some slave master shit. For real, bro. That is some slave master shit. Y'all gonna do what I say. Y'all gonna look how I say. Y'all gonna act how I... Yo, slave master. I'm not with it. I'm not with it the way that he runs the UFC. I'm not with it. I feel like fighters should get paid a lot more money and should have a lot more freedom to do things. Like, look, UFC fighters can't even fight nowhere else. They can't even fight nowhere else unless Dana White signs off on it. So if there's a bag somewhere and they could make that, Dana White could say, nah, you're not going to, I don't want you to. Meanwhile, in boxing, if a fighter wants to go do an MMA or a competition or something else, he could go do that. Handle that. So, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling the way they run MMA, bro. Real talk. Pierre-Olivier Dallier, how much damage Tim took against Backrand? Damn, yo, Backrand really dominated him. I have to be honest with you, my brother. Backrand really dominated him. Before that fight, I had only seen him in the highlights. I've never seen him in a full fight. I didn't know he was that good. I think Timmy also didn't know he was that good. And that's just the way it played out. I'm looking forward to see who Backrand is going to fight next. I can't wait to watch him, because if he did that to Tim Tszyu, that's it. He already showed us that he's a problem. But again, I try to tell people, the biggest problem that fans have when it comes to unknown fighters is that they feel like they're not that good. He's not. We don't really know him. He's not that good. Man, who is that? And especially when the fighter doesn't have a lot of fights in their resume. He don't even got that many fights. He don't. And I'm telling you, my peoples, there's fighters out there who's really, really good, and we never heard of them. We don't know them, simply because they're fighting somewhere in Europe where it's not even televised. How are we gonna know about him? They fighting somewhere in Australia, and they still at a low level where they not signed to anybody. They fighting somewhere in Africa. There's a lot of fighters out there, my people, that's really, really good, that could just come out of nowhere and beat a top level guy. That happens. That happens. Backrand is one of those guys. He's one of those guys. Matter of fact, I don't know what his amateur pedigree is, but just based on his style, I'm gonna assume that he spent mad years fighting, international tournaments and all that. Backrand can fight, my people. Don't slip on him. Don't slip on him. Boxing on paper. I recently heard an interesting suggestion for a fight I never thought about. How does Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou go? Oh, that's an interesting fight. I like that fight. I tell you, if that fight goes to the scorecards, Jake Paul's winning it. Canelo Floyd's son, the November card is better than some and that only more fights will be on there. Come on, man. But why are you comparing one card to the next, brother? Come on, man. There's a lot of good fights in July. We're in July. There's a lot of fights in July. Now you're saying in November there's some great fights. But this whole year has been great for boxing, and you're trying to, you're looking at a hate angle where you can find something negative? Come on, bro. So check it, my people. Check it. Backrand Murtasaliev, right? A record of 22-0. So he's undefeated right now. But how many people can say that they knew him before he faced Tim Tszyu? How many people can honestly say that? Not just because there's people who's always going to say they know everything. Oh, yeah, I knew him. Oh, yeah, I knew him too. They know everybody. Bullshit. So all I'm saying is there's some good fighters out there that we don't know, we never heard of, and they can fight elite level. Backrand, the way that he fought Tim Tszyu and the way that he put hands on him, dominated him. Y'all gonna tell me he can't become a world champion? Come on now. Let's keep it 100. Mr. Cayo, Nagano by decapitation. I don't know, man. Nagano got the edge in power, but Jake Paul has a lot of edge in boxing. Nagano can't box. He can hit hard, but he can't box like Jake Paul. He can't. Jake Paul already. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Stop slipping. Stop, underestimating Jake Paul's boxing ability. That's it. The brother has been boxing already for 7, 8 years. He can box, bro. Real talk. Croc, great morning to you, my brother. Croc, my brother. Good morning to you as well, my G. NYC Alex, this is Box Center. You know it, my G. Your favorite boxer's favorite boxing show. Canelo's Floyd's son. Nah, this is not hate angle. What I meant is I look the most forward to the November card. I mean, honestly, the card that I look forward to the most, and I don't even know what's going to be on the card. I don't even know the entire card. I don't even know how many fighters they have for it yet. But there is nothing that I'm looking forward to more than the September card. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Regardless, it's the main event for me, regardless of who's on it. Canelo's Floyd's son, I said it's better than some, meaning I would skip it for, to watch it. Oh, I got you, my brother. Yo, some of these cars, man, you skipping and all that. We done had enough. We can skip a little something. Shayna Messer and I Love Thanos. Don't mind me asking, are y'all into women boxing too? Of course. What? Man, you haven't been on this channel. This is maybe your first time on the channel. But I cover boxing. Gabriela Fondora, I cover her fights. Every time she fights, I post videos about her. Clarissa Shields, my favorite female fighter, I post videos about her. A lot of people don't know this because I'll see if I find the video and I can repost it. I actually went live with Clarissa Shields and we was talking boxing for a little bit. Had a good time too. But there's Sandy Ryan, Michaela Meyer. There's a lot of, female fighters right now that are doing their thing. And, Box Center is definitely for the women, supporting women's boxing. Look, I'm even proud to say that there's people who have told me that they didn't used to watch women's boxing. And after they started watching Box Center, they tuned into a few women's fight and they started watching. They say, yo, let's get it. Yeah, the women are doing their thing. Panty Sniffer, women boxing is fire too. Yo, that is fire. And by the way, Clarissa Shields is fighting at the end of the month. I'm waiting to see listen, my peoples. I'm waiting to see if at some point we're going to end up getting Clarissa Shields versus Alicia Baumgardner. I've been wanting that fight. Y'all remember they had, they went back and forth on social media. They couldn't agree on a catch weight. But that's a fight, man, that I feel like it needs to happen. Real talk. Panty Sniffer. Her first time. We love women boxing. That's a fact. Box Center is for women's boxing. We support. Canelo's Floyd's son. Bub versus Madrimov left insane. Now Bub versus Canelo. I mean, listen. I always try to tell people, it's the worst perspective that you can take on a fight is using a previous fight. Because look, the same way that you bring up Bub versus Madrimov, right? You don't really bring up Canelo versus Bivol and the way Bivol dominated Canelo with his reach. You don't bring that up, right? Because then you're going to tell me, well, nah, because Crawford is not Bivol. You're right. But Canelo is not Madrimov. So, for whatever reason, people have a hard time understanding that Terrence Crawford is not going to fight Canelo Alvarez the same way that he fought this guy. The dude at 154. Shyla Messer and I Love Thanos. 2028 is going to be the best Olympics ever. There is no transgenders or anything. Listen, man, I don't have a problem with transgenders competing in the Olympics, but fight each other. Make a transgender league so that they can compete against each other and still be able to participate. But I'm not with it, transgender, for example, transgender women fighting against natural born women. I'm not with it at all. I don't support that. Ooh, my brother Sadat Hamed with the super chat vibes for Jay Smith. Ooh, with the Cinco. Morning, brother, and salute to the chats. Yo, Sadat Hamed, my brother, I appreciate you tuning in as always. And you know that I never ask anybody to ever send me money support, but when you do that, you letting me know that you appreciate what I'm doing out here. So salute, my brother. Bam. The brain. My head hurts from sparring extremely unskilled, hard punching, awkward 22-year-old yesterday. I hate sparring, burn fighters at my age. Yeah, so you shouldn't be in boxing, my brother. Enjoy watching it. It's not a sport for you. Canelo is Floyd's son. The brain takes some lions, man, to recover and do breathing exercises. NYC, Alex. Hope you get a TB. Listen, man, my peoples, let me show you. I want to show you something. Because this is something that I'm going to be doing for you guys because a lot of you who come to the live don't see the shorts that I be posting. And I post shorts every day, at least 1 or 2 per day. And a lot of you miss those. So from now on, when I come on the live, every once in a while, I'm going to show you guys some of the videos that I post. So those of you who didn't see the video with me and Zap Judah, check it out, my peoples. Check this out. That's been my inactivity time since 99 to making my pro debut in 2003. My nigga, I don't even know if I should be in the Guinness Hall of, in the Guinness or some shit for that. This nigga said the Guinness Book of who been in that? So that's one of the videos, but I post a lot of shorts, my peoples. You don't want to miss it. Bayerling Hernandez in the building. Panty sniffer. I don't believe this is brain damage or stuff. I swear. Even if I got bloody, got real hurt or injured, always keep it going like a warrior. The N-word. Listen, bro. Don't play. I'm telling you. Keep it going like a warrior is not always the best thing, man. If you look around, you're going to find some fighters who are in their 40s or in their 50s, and they kept going like a warrior, and today they can't even put a whole sentence together. You can't understand them. They're like, we're going to go to the boxing. You're like, what the hell he's saying? And that's all them punches to the head, my boy. So forget about being a warrior, especially if you're not getting paid for it. If you're getting paid for it, with the money, you set your life up for when you get older. But if you're getting beat up for free, bro, nah, no good. No bueno, papi, no bueno. NYC Alex. If Panty Sniffer ever hurt, all he need is sniff on a panty to bring him back. Look at Jay Smith, licking butt, all of them punches to the head. I'm trying to tell you, man, taking punches to the head can have a horrible impact on you down the line. I don't remember what fight we was watching just the other day that somebody was taking a nasty beating, and I was like, yo, they need to stop that fight, man. That man getting killed out there. And it took too long for them to stop it, man. Way too long for them to stop it. So, look, these are some of the fights from July, right? Tomorrow, we're going to get Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. By the way, my peoples, before I say all of these fights that we got coming up, and we're going to make some predictions, by the way, it's 26 of us and only 12 likes, which means a lot of you ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. Okay, Tank need to stop ducking Shakur. Yeah, I need to stop ducking that like button. I just got to let you know. But here's some of the fights that are taking place. I already said Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. So before we move on, my peoples, Make your predictions. Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank tomorrow. Who do you got? And remember what I said, your prediction will come up in the Box Center video that I'll post later today. So make your predictions, my people. Jack Catterall versus Harlem Eubank. The next one, let me see. Does anybody want to make a pick for Jack Catterall or Harlem Eubank, or we skipping that? Y'all got 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go to make a pick between Jack Catterall and Chris Eubank. Damn, y'all don't give a damn about Jack Catterall and Chris Eubank? I'm going to make my pick. Damn, honestly, it's hard for me to make a pick in that fight because I haven't seen Harlem Eubank enough, honestly. I've seen highlights of him, but I haven't seen a full fight of Harlem Eubank. I've seen Jack Catterall. So let me see what you guys are picking. NYC Alex, Eubank, W by decision. Canelo is Floyd's son, Harlem Eubank. Panty Sniffer, Harlem Eubank. Chris Eubank, Panty Sniffer. Chris ain't fighting, my G. What are we doing? That's not his weight class, bro. It's Chris Eubank versus Harlem Eubank, his brother. So I'm going to guess that you're going with Harlem Eubank. So my peoples, right now, by unanimous decision, Harlem Eubank wins this showdown. Panty Sniffer, my bad. I meant Harlem. So I'm going to say this. Harlem Eubank, within the chat, wins this showdown tomorrow by unanimous decision. But I'm rocking with Jack Catterall. I got Jack Catterall winning that fight. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano 3. Who y'all got in that fight? Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. That's going down on July 11th. And you know those two young ladies already fought 24 rounds. They're about to make it. Oh, no, it's not 24 rounds. It's not 12 rounds. It's 10, right? Are they fighting? Because I remember they fought 3-minute rounds and all that. I don't know if it's 10 or 12 rounds, but this is the third time they're going to go at it. The first fight was real close. It was controversial. People felt like Serrano won. And then the second fight was also controversial. Let's see, man. Are we going to get a clear victory in this third fight? What you guys are predicting? NYC Alex got Serrano winning that fight. Do you got to go into a decision like the first two, or will we see a stoppage? NYC Alex, but that's a good fight. Patty Sniffer, 26-year-old. That's way too old, bro. There is no way. Canelo Floyd's son. Clock start with conditioning. So, look, no, a 26-year-old is possible to make it, but only if you're very, very athletic, if you've been probably involved with sports at a high level, like if you play basketball, if you play team football, if you play sports and you're already athletic, at 26, you can still make it. But if you have never really participated in sports, was never into working out, you cooked at 26. You're going to be a punching bag. My bad to say it that way. July 12th, my peoples. July 12th. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Make your predictions. Yeah, I know. I made mine already. Shakur Stevenson is going to whoop William Zepeda. That's how I see it. You can't tell me otherwise. Let me know. NYC Alex, Ozzy, Canelo Floyd's son, Panty Sniffer. Who y'all got between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda? Ozzy, if you're into bodybuilding and running, you can easily transition into boxing at 26. Not too old. Nah, no way. Bodybuilding and running is definitely not going to help you transition into boxing, bro. No way, not a chance. Only way you transition into boxing from bodybuilding is if you're a heavyweight. Because at heavyweight, you don't got to be as skilled. You know, you're a big dude. Boom, boom, boom. You know, if you're like a Nagano type of frame, yeah, you could transition. But that's just because you're big. But you're not going to have bodybuilding. It's not going to give you the mechanics to be able to become a good boxer. You're going to be stiff as hell as a bodybuilder. Running for sure, yes, because it's going to help you with the fitness. Running for sure is going to help you. But the mechanics that you need for boxing. Now if you a bodybuilder, you're gonna have a hard time. Even throwing some of the punches correctly, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna struggle a lot. So for Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda, Panty Sniffer, I got Shakur winning against anyone right now. You see? People know. People know what's good with Shakur. NYC Alex. Boxing is a skill. Takes time to master. Has many factors to it. Panty Sniffer. Shakur is him. The boogeyman. I gotta agree with you, my guy. I gotta agree with you. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna read your comment again and I'm gonna tell you why. Right? So, Panty Sniffer, Shakur is him, the boogeyman. I agree with you. You know why? Because look at all these fighters who have called out Tank Davis. They don't want to fight Shakur. If you think about it, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Vasyl Lomachenko, at his time, they all called and wanted to fight Tank Davis. None of them have ever expressed interest in wanting to fight Shakur. In fact, Lomachenko turned down the fight with Shakur. Teofimo Lopez has expressed that he's not interested in that fight. Tank Davis been ducking Shakur for the last couple of years. So we see that Shakur Stevenson is in fact the boogeyman. No lies told by my brother, Panty Sniffer. NYC Alex. Shakur is a runner. A wannabe Floyd. He's horrible. I don't know, man. You call him horrible. Like, to describe a three-division undefeated champion horrible, you don't realize that it says more about you than it says about him. Because you're taking one of the elites of the elites and you're saying he's horrible. What type of fan are you? Think about it. What type of fan are you when you take one of the most accomplished young fighters in the game who's undefeated and you say that he's horrible? That's nasty work, bro. That shit is wicked. Wicked. NYC Alex, Tank will push Shakur to sleep. I mean, you believe that, but Tank and his team don't believe you. They don't believe that. That's the problem. You more confident than Tank. You more confident in Tank than Tank is confident in himself. That should tell you more. That should tell you more than me right there. The fact that he hasn't wanted to make that fight should tell you everything you need to know, but you're in denial. You don't want to accept the reality. Canelo is Floyd's son. Who are some opponents that may beat Shakur at 135? Nobody beating Shakur at 135. Nobody beating Shakur at 140. Listen, Shakur is the type of fighter. For him to lose, he has to keep moving up in divisions and eventually face somebody that's too big for him. And then that person could beat him. But nobody in and around the division that he's in can fuck with him. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. Ozzy, Shakur is harder to fight that pay less than Tank. Okay, Ozzy, so this is the time where in order to defend Tank, you become a manager. You start playing the manager role where you start talking about money and payment and all this stuff, which in reality only makes sense if you was a manager, if you was Tank Davis's manager and you were concerned about how much money people are making, that talking point makes sense. But we're supposed to be boxing fans. We're supposed to be asking for the best to fight the best. We're supposed to be concerned about what happens inside the ring instead of pocket watching. But to give you an example and show you that your statement is 100% wrong, Teofimo Lopez haven't fought Tank Davis. He's not going to fight Tank Davis because Tank Davis is ducking him. So why he don't fight Shakur? Your logic is making it seem like, well, Tank is a better option because they're going to make more money with Tank. Okay, Teofimo's not fighting Tank. Why he don't go fight Shakur? So a lot of people who called out Tank and didn't get that fight, why not call out Shakur? You're not getting the Tank fight. You didn't get it. So that's the point. Shakur Stevenson is the boogeyman. The people that want to fight each other, the people that want to fight everybody, they don't want it with Shakur. It's as simple as that. They don't want it. And NYC Alex Shakur is overrated. Protected. I don't even need to continue to reading that. That's one of those I don't know what I'm talking about kind of deals. Panty Sniffer. It's already been decided. We wouldn't even see Shakur versus Tank or Tank versus Roach. We can only see Jake versus Tank. Look, I find it rather strange, at least strange is the minimum I could say, that we have not seen no promotion for Tank Davis versus Lamar Roach. Have you seen a press conference? After they pushed the date and said, no, we're not doing the rematch now. We're going to do the rematch on another date, on a future date, right? That we have seen no press conferences to promote the event. I want you to consider this. Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is in September. That's 2 months away, almost 3. And how many press conferences have we already seen about that fight? How many times we've already seen Canelo and Crawford face each other off? And we notice Canelo is little. We've seen it a lot of times. Tell me, when's the last? Have you seen Tank Davis and Lamar Roach facing each other off? I was talking to Blue Blood Sports TV, and he told me, I don't know, Jay. I don't know if that fight is even happening. I don't see anything. So I ask you guys, what have you seen to suggest that the fight is gonna happen? I don't know. I'm hoping it does, because that's a very much anticipated rematch. I know you guys want to see it too. Lamar Roach whooped that ass in the first fight. We want to see if Tank Davis can redeem himself. We want to see it. Lamar Roach put hands on Tank. We all know it. Tank was gifted a draw. Can he make up for it? We got to see it. I'm saying Tank is an easier fight, and it's a big paycheck. People have no chance versus Shakur. But my brother, how is Tank an easier fight if he's not going to fight you, though? He's not going to fight you. That's the point. Like, for example, Teofimo Lopez knows that Tank is not going to fight him. He already knows it. So what is the whole point of comparing, hey, Teofimo, he can make more money with Tank. Why fight Shakur? Tank is not going to fight you. Forget Tank. Look at Shakur right there. So look at Devin Haney. Look at Devin Haney, for example, Ozzy. Devin Haney been calling out Tank, is dying to fight Tank Davis. He ducked Shakur. He literally dropped all of his belts and ran from the division just to avoid fighting Shakur. He literally put together a whole let me duck without looking like I'm ducking technique. My boy sent a low ball offer when Shakur said no, pew, left the division. Didn't even leave room for negotiation. Didn't even threaten to leave. Didn't even say, yo, if you don't sign that, I'm going to leave. Didn't do nothing. Just one day came out of nowhere. Yo, my peoples, I'm out of here. Bam, I'm leaving the division. Caught everybody by surprise. Because if you don't have a good memory of it, let me refresh your recollection. Let me refresh your recollection, my peoples. When Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson were supposed to fight, the reason that was supposed to happen is because Devin Haney was the champion. He was actually the undisputed champion. And Shakur Stevenson was the mandatory for one of his belts. They could not come to an agreement to make the fight, right? And what happens when two fighters cannot agree on the money, on the business aspect? The fight goes to a purse bid. So they were headed to a purse bid. What happens in the purse bid? I'm going to tell you guys, look, this is going to be the live where if you didn't know it, I'm going to give you solid proof that Devin Haney ducked Shakur Stevenson. This is it right here, my peoples. If you never had the proof that Devin Haney ducked, I'm going to give it to you right now. Devin Haney offered Shakur Stevenson 25%, right? 75-25. Shakur Stevenson didn't take it. Now, people say that Shakur ducked because he didn't take the offer. And they want to finish the story right there. But no, wait a minute. Shakur did not have to take the offer because he was the mandatory. He could force his mandatory slot and force the card, which is exactly what Shakur Stevenson did. Oh, you only want to give me 25? No problem. Sanctioning body, we're going to need to enforce this mandatory. And exactly what the sanctioning body did. They enforced the mandatory, right? So nothing that I'm saying is my opinion, my peoples. You see that people don't know shit about boxing. They come with their opinion and what they think. Nothing I'm telling you is my opinion. I'm telling you the facts, right? When Shakur Stevenson enforced the mandatory, Devin Haney had a certain amount of time before the fight went to purse bid. And that's exactly what happened. The fight went to purse bid. And if you're familiar with it, when a fight goes to purse bid, what happens? Listen, this is the biggest proof, my peoples, that you heard. I want you guys to keep it in mind. When a fight goes to purse bid, generally the champion gets between 80 and 90%. Between 80 and 90%, my peoples. So that means that if Devin Haney would have went to the purse bid with Shakur Stevenson, guess what? He would have got about the same amount of money that he was already asking for. So why would he not go to purse bid? Oh no, my peoples, don't worry. That person that you see right there talking, don't worry about him. That's actually, and don't pay attention. That's actually a fake account made by this dude who he's a child molester, and I ousted him. He's actually a teacher, and he was molesting his own students, and I ousted him. So now he thinks he's trying to troll me, and I'm not even paying mind to that stuff. So don't worry about it, my people. That child molester don't face me at all. But again, my peoples, did Devin Haney really duck? I asked you the magic question. Did Devin Haney really duck? Yes. Armando Rosado, salute from Puerto Rico. Salute, my brother. Bam. Appreciate you dropping in. So I want you to take that into consideration. Please take it into consideration. Devin Haney would have made the same amount of money fighting Shakur after the purse bid that if Shakur would have took the 25%. In fact, Shakur was offered 25%, right? After the purse bid, he may have got 20%. He may have gotten less money. May have got less money, my peoples. So look what Devin Haney did, so you could see who ducked, exposed to my brother. Yeah, look what Devin Haney did. I want you to think about this, my peoples. I want you to think about this. Devin Haney left the division about 3 days. Hold on. Let's take care of him. Let's take care of him. Listen, Devin Haney, my peoples, I want you to consider this. Devin Haney left the division about 3 days before the purse bid. About 3 days before the purse bid, he left the division. What does that tell you? Why? If Devin Haney really offered Shakur a 25%, he was ready to fight him, right? Why didn't he say, you know what? Let me wait for the purse bid because I might make more money if I do that. What then? What if Devin Haney would have waited for the purse bid, and now in the purse bid, he would have got 80% instead of the 75% that he would have got with the offer that he made Shakur. So going to purse bid Devin Haney could have made more money, my peoples. Devin Haney could have made more money by going to purse bid. Yet, what did he do? A few days before the purse bid, he dropped his titles and made a surprise announcement on social media. I'm leaving to the 140 division. If you remember when that happened, I want you to think back to when you found out that Devin Haney was leaving from 135 to 140. How did you find that out? How did you find out he was leaving? Was Devin Haney in a fight where he actually said during the fight or after the fight, oh, look, I struggle making weight, I'm leaving? Did that happen? Nope. That didn't happen. What actually happened is that Devin Haney ducked Shakur straight up. Surprised everybody, blindsided everybody. Yo, I'm leaving the division. I'm vacating. I'm going to also remind you guys that Devin Haney, he held on to all 4 of the titles. And there's people that was talking about most champions, when they become undisputed, they don't hold on to all the belts. Why? Because they got to pay the sanctioning fees. So eventually they just vacate a bunch of titles and keep one. Devin Haney held on to all of them. And he specifically pointed out that he didn't care about that. Specifically said, nah, I'm holding on to all my belts. I'm the undisputed champion. Devin Haney, my peoples, was the undisputed champion up until Shakur Stevenson enforced his mandatory card on him. The moment Shakur Stevenson enforced the mandatory and he was forced to go into a purse bid, went like this on the division. Pew! So who really ducked who? Who really ducked who? Who? So again, when people have this notion that, and still try to argue that it was Shakur Stevenson that ran because, hey, he didn't take the offer. Since when in boxing does a fighter who's enforcing his mandatory card, who's making you vacate your title because you don't want to fight him, since when is he the one running? How many times have we seen it in boxing where a fighter got a mandatory and he drop a title and run, and we say he ducking? That's exactly what Devin Haney did. There's no difference. Because he sent an offer and Shakur should have took it. Come on. Since when? How many times? And the funny thing is that the duck logic, people only want to apply it to some fighters. Like, for example, remember when Boo Boo Andre was Canelo's mandatory and Canelo dropped the title and left the 160 division to 168? What did people try to do? Oh, nah, yo. Nah, that's not a dog because Canelo left the division. He just didn't want to fight over there anymore. No, that's the people defending him. How about the people that was like, nah, yo, Canelo's a dog. He a dog. He dropped the title and left the division. Ducking. Oh, okay. He ducking? Cool. Cool if you saying that he ducking. Devin Haney ducked. So there you have it, my peoples. I gave you the full proof that Devin Haney's the one that ducked in that fight. There's no getting around it. There's no point in even saying that Shakur ducked. Y'all got to stop the madness. NYC Alex, Norman can pull it off. Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, man, that's a fight that I'm really, really looking forward to. Really looking forward to. And one thing that we all have to say about Devin is that he's a warrior. You know, he's somebody who got heart. I mean, we saw with Ryan Garcia, even though he kept getting dropped, he kept getting up. I think he had a broken jaw. Even if they didn't disclose that injury, just by the way his face looked, I think he had a broken jaw. And he just kept getting up and kept fighting Ryan Garcia. He's a warrior. Tough guy. And now we see Devin Haney. Take that into consideration, my peoples. You're going to fight Brian Norman Jr. the undefeated welterweight champion, you don't have to do that. Devin Haney's a champion at 140. He could stay down there and defend that title. And you're choosing to move up and fight such a dangerous fighter. I mean, we saw Brian Norman Jr.'s explosive first round knockout. We saw it, my peoples. After watching that knockout, you want to fight him? That really tells you what Devin Haney's all about. Devin Haney is truly a throwback fighter who is going to fight the best out there. You know that he wants to fight Tank. That's why you know that Shakur Stevenson is the boogeyman. Devin Haney want to fight everybody except Shakur. That right there needs to let you know. Devin want to fight everybody except Shakur Stevenson. NYC Alex, Haney is going to get that jaw broken again. Props to Haney. He wants to prove himself. I'm telling you, man. I see Devin Haney, and I admire the way that he's gone about his career. Fought Vasyl Lomachenko, and when he fought Lomachenko, Loma still was doing it. Just think about it. After losing to Devin Haney, Lomachenko became a champion again. Which, by the way, salute to Vasyl Lomachenko, man. Amazing career, retired as a champion on his own terms. So I definitely respect that. Canelo Floyd's son, Haney can win if he's in flow state with his skills. I think, Devin Haney has a chance to win that fight. He's a special fighter. When you have two special fighters, it can go either way. But we know who's going to have the edge in power. Armando Rosado, Haney should fight his dad. His dad priority are not about legacy. I don't know, my brother. I can't really agree with you on that. In fact, I have to disagree with you because look at the fights that his dad has pushed. His dad pushed Devin Haney fighting Vasyl Lomachenko. That's a legacy-making fight. His dad pushed Devin Haney Regis Prograis. That's a legacy-making fight as well. So Devin Haney's building up the fight with Camboza. His dad was there for him to make it happen over there in Australia. So his dad had been a big part of Devin Haney's accomplishments. You got to understand, that's the person managing that career. And he's followed the process, trusted the process, and you see the results. Ernest Morales, Tank thought he was being genius by hiding behind 130 Roach. Roach is a cherry pick gone wrong. Let's face it. They brought Lamont Roach from the 130 division, just like they brought Androide Garcia from the 130 division, with the plans of knocking them out in spectacular fashion, and now we fighting Jake Paul next. Lamont Roach showed out. That's it. Cherry pick gone wrong. Croc, Devin Haney's dad is on the ground for his son. However, his son has a glass jar. I'm guessing you mean a glass jaw. Look, Devin Haney doesn't have a glass jaw. I'm going to go on record as telling you. He don't have a glass jaw. Here's the problem with that statement, Croc. If you look at the punches that hurt Devin Haney, 90% of fighters get hit with that punches. They're going to be hurt too, bro. They're going to be hurt too. The thing is that when somebody get caught with a shot and they get hurt, they already got a glass jaw. But my man's been fighting for how many years? How many years he been fighting? So taking a shot and getting hurt doesn't mean you got a glass jaw. If you get hit by a power puncher and he hurt you, that don't mean you got a glass jaw. You got hit. Like, think about how many people Ryan Garcia knocked out with that left hook. Knocked out. How many people he slept. Devin Haney kept getting up. Getting hit by a punch that knocked people out. So you think the fact that Ryan Garcia, one of the hardest punchers in the division, hurt him, that means he got a glass jaw? Nah. Anybody get hit by that same punch by Ryan Garcia, they're gonna get hurt. So it's not about him having a glass jaw, it's that he's taking some big shots. Canelo's Floyd's son. Crack, I disagree. If Haney had a glass jaw, he would have got KO'd by Juice Garcia, who already got popped. That's what I'm saying. Devin Haney, he can take a shot. And he's taken some real good shots throughout his career. So now, it's like, let me give you an example. Watch this. Go watch Canelo Alvarez versus Amir Khan. I want you to watch that fight. And look at the punch that Canelo landed on Khan. Like the way he swiveled his head, it looked like he almost decapitated him. So when you watch that punch landing on Khan, I want you to tell me which fighter in planet Earth was going to take that shot and not go down. Or stay awake at least. Which fighter? Yet, when Amir Khan got knocked out by that punch, a lot of people jumped out right away. Look, you see, he got a glass jaw. Look, he got a glass jaw. Motherfucker, you don't know nobody on planet Earth that could take that shot. Nobody. So it's not about having a lot of times when people say a fighter got a glass jaw, you got to look at the punch that they got hit with. It's not about a glass jaw. It's that you got rocked with a punch that will knock out 95% of the population on planet Earth. Boom! So forget the glass jaw stuff. In most cases, people just get... Look, you know when the glass jaw argument is valid? The glass jaw argument is valid when somebody who isn't hitting you with a punch that normally hurts people or knocks people out, and they hurt you. Now you got a glass jaw. Somebody give you a nice stiff jab, bang, and they wobble you. You may have a glass jaw. Why? Because most people, when they get hit with a hard jab, they get their head snapped back, bang, and keep it moving, bang, keep it moving. But there's people out there who get caught with a good jab, bang, and get wobbly and shit. You got a glass jaw. Okay? Ernest Morales, not all punch resistance are alike. That's 100% accurate. And the more damage a fighter has taken, the more likely their punch resistance goes down. That's the way that it works. I've seen fighters who got beat up, like took a nasty beating, but went the distance, went 12 rounds, right? Took a beating. All type of hard punches. All right, cool. Damn, this guy's a warrior. He can take a shot. And then in the next fight, a 3-hit combo in the 3rd round put him to sleep. It wasn't even as hard as any of them punches he took in the other fight. That's it. The punch resistance is gone. And that happens a lot. Now, a fighter take a nasty beating and going forward, any little punch got him wobbly. Canelo is Floyd's son. The next week is all smoke. Week after Usyk versus Dubois. For August, if Tank fight is August 16th, it will be an insane day. Kazma fighting DDP. So look, man, I'm going to tell you right now, the Tank Davis fight, I just don't know if it's going to happen, man. I want it to happen. I'm hoping it happens. But at this point, man, not seeing any press conferences, not seeing any face-offs, not seeing any promotional videos, new posters, nothing. We're not seeing anything about the rematch. You know how this rematch is looking? Remember when Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford were supposed to fight each other and we was waiting for the rematch? That's how this one is starting to look. Like we're waiting for it, but we're not really seeing anything about it. We're not really seeing a development in this whole process. So I don't know, man. Croc, that's hanging, my brother. In some of his face, you see him get wobbled. Haney. Canelo is Floyd's son. Itama versus White on August 16 also in UK. Hope the Tank fight stays at August 16th, Itama versus White is going to be a slugfest. Itama versus White is going to be a slugfest, my brother. I'm a full believer in Itama and what he can do, and I think that he's going to become a world champion. But you gotta understand, man. This is a serious showdown. This is not gonna be a fight where he's just gonna win it. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm telling you right now. Usyk versus Dubois, the rematch. That's gonna be. I think Dubois has a very good opportunity here to be the first to beat Usyk. He already knows that he can hurt him to the body. He already knows that he has what it takes to win the fight. He's confident. Let's see. But it's just that Usyk is such a great fighter. My peoples, Usyk is the type of fighter who he just knows how to make adjustments throughout the fight. He can make multiple adjustments to stop you from doing what you're doing. So obviously he's going to be the favorite. But Dubois has a chance to pull it off. Banks OZ, your boy Crawford is getting beat bad. You're going to find out, man. I can't wait till September. I hope that you don't disappear and reemerge a month later talking about, yeah, I knew Crawford was going to win because Canelo's not the same anymore. I hope you don't come back. Just get your excuses together. Be ready with your excuses, bro. NYC Alex, let's be real, though. Errol fought the Ferrari and lost. Otherwise, he would have been on the Bud position. Okay, then. So tell me what injury from the Ferrari accident you think he had when he fought Crawford years after the accident. Feel free to tell me because I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Canelo is Floyd's son. I believe Hrgovic fights Adelaide and Hrgovic got a chin. Adelaide was KO'd by by Wardley. Super arrogant fighter. Look, man, that's going to be, I think, a very, very competitive fight. I can't make a pick right now, just like that. Just because, even though I've seen both of them, very familiar, but I got to see more, a little bit more before I can say I'm rocking with this fighter winning the fight. Banks OC, watch Abel Sanchez and Canelo and Crawford. Abel Sanchez, he's fighting. Clear that up for me, Banks OC. Canelo is Floyd's son. The car crash was 3 years before the fight. Yo, I'm telling you, these fools is clinging on to that car accident for dear life. Look what NYC Alex answered. He got ejected at 100 miles per hour. Still can't say what injury lasted 3 years. Bro, you sound goofy as hell. Just tell us what injury he had. Tell us what injury he had that you felt carried for 3 years. Stop trying to play doctor. Stop trying to tell us, well, he was going really fast. So my opinion, what injury are you familiar with that he had that carried over for 3 years? If you're not familiar with any, because he didn't have any, please just shut up about the accident, man. You're embarrassing yourself, bro. El fantasma de Geraldo Ledé. Yeah, he saw himself in another crash. Man, like, damn, yo. Like, look, there's a lot of things that you can say to hate on Crawford. There's a lot of things, but find good things to hate on Crawford. Don't find dumb things that don't even make no sense. Like, you're like, the car accident. No, NYC Alex, let me explain to you. If you don't have a low IQ, you need to understand that an accident is not what affects you. It's the injuries that the accident caused. Look, I'm saying it slow for you so you could get it. I was in a car accident where the car was totaled. I only broke an ankle. You see, an ankle injury is not a serious injury. Errol Spence, tell me what he broke, what injury you think he had that carried over 3 years later. And stop telling us stories about nurses. Come on, man. Back OZ. Crash is not excused. I agree. Yo, I've debunked These people. Look, watch this. Number one, you know that I debunked the car accident when now NYC Alex is bringing up the orbital bone. The orbital bone did not happen in a car accident. That happened in a sparring session like 2 years later. So the orbital bone and the car accident don't got nothing to do with each other. I want y'all to think about that. Nothing to do with each other. So he's trying to mix two injuries that did not happen together to try to make it seem like the car accident was worse. So no, he did not suffer any injury that carried over for 3 years. NYC Alex, don't make me keep debunking you, bro. Don't make me keep debunking your lies and your horrible opinions. Come on now. Now you got normal wear and tear from an accident? Okay, how about the normal wear and tear from Bud Crawford getting shot? Of course I'm debunking them because look, I'm asking you for what injury he had for the Crawford fight and you can't say anything. You're like, well, he had therapy. What the hell does therapy from 3 years ago got to do with 3 years later? Bro, you can't even name a single injury that Errol Spence had when he fought Crawford. I'm asking you. You're saying, bro, it's the truth. It's the truth that he also did not have any single injury affecting him from the Crawford fight. Look. You see, I'm debunking you because I'm showing you that Errol Spence did not have any injury from the car accident that carried over for 3 years. Errol Spence did not have a limp in his legs. He didn't have a bad arm. What are you saying that he had? Are you saying that his arm was bad? I don't know, his fist? Are you saying his fist was bad? His feet? What are you saying that was affected by the car accident? I'm making it easy for you. I'm making it easy for you. Hey, good morning, Ryan. Give me a hug. You got your fan with you? NYC Alex, you don't win no points by repeating dumb things over and over. To say that Errol lost 10 years, you just nominated yourself a doctor. You not only nominated yourself a doctor, you making yourself look like a fool, bro. You never seen Errol Spence in person. You don't know nothing about his medical history. You don't know nothing. You just made yourself a doctor and gave him 10 years. You making yourself look like a fool, bro. I'm not even going to be able to keep responding to you. Like you said, that whole same line of fake stuff, you said it already in the last live and you're going to repeat it again. Granted, I am a med school. Number one, I don't believe you that you're a med school because you lie too much. But even if you are a med school, you know damn well that you've never seen Errol Spence. You've never seen his medical records. And you've never seen absolutely nothing to be able to say that. So med school doesn't mean shit. That doesn't give you any knowledge about Errol Spence. Croc, come on home, team. You know that Errol Spence's brain was shaking up real bad. Come on, let's be real. But again, my brother, Croc, when you say Errol Spence head was shaking real bad, right? What effect do you think that had on him? Because we watch him beat Danny Garcia. We watch him beat Ugas. What are you talking about? Because, again, it's years down the line. Years passed before they fought each other. What injury? So when I ask people, what injury did Errol Spence have that carried over to 3 years? Everybody's stuck on stupid. Oh no, because it really hurt him. It really hurt because it was an accident. It's not the accident that hurt you, my peoples. It's the injuries that you sustained during the accident. Errol Spence did not sustain any long-term injuries. He didn't. No long-term injuries during that car accident. So you have to understand, my peoples, that in some cases, an accident could look a lot worse than it actually is. Big Bridge, she be like, but I love you like, what the F? Canelo is Floyd's son, El Fantasma de Geraldo Ledén. You Dominican? Crawford was just a bad brother. So, look, and I made that example earlier. I was in a car accident, my peoples. if you would have seen that car, if you would have seen the car, the way that it was totaled, you would have said the person driving that car got killed. Killed. And I just messed up an ankle. That was it. That was it. So an accident doesn't mean that you automatically sustain major injuries. It doesn't. And watch this so that you can see. I'm gonna post this video as a short, and maybe you guys will have the NYC Alex. You gotta stop talking stupid, bro, because I don't want to block you. I don't want to block you. You know this is gonna be the hottest boxing chat. You're gonna make me block you talking stupid like that. Don't make me do it like that, bro. Stop. But I want you guys to take this into consideration, and I'm gonna post a video so that you guys have the opportunity to see it. I'm gonna post it. There's a video of a guy going 140 miles per hour in a Corvette. In that video, he's running from the cops, and it's a helicopter chasing him. So you're seeing an angle from the upper view, that bird's view angle, right? And the Corvette. Está bien, yo te la voy a aprender. Vamos. Ay, no, ya casi te tienes que ir para el colegio. Está bien, está bien. Espérame un segundito. Déjame decirle a ellos. So I want you to consider this, my people. This dude tried to swerve lanes, and he hit the back of a semi. Boom! Yo, the Corvette, it was a soft top. The Corvette flipped, and he flew out of the top. But as the Corvette, as he was swerving lanes and hit the truck, when he flew out of the Corvette, he didn't land in the pavement. He landed on the grass on the side. At 140 miles per hour, this dude got ejected from the Corvette. And he got up, my peoples, and he tried to run. And he had to lay back down because he broke his legs. At 140 miles per hour, NYC Alex, dude got ejected from a Corvette and just messed up his legs. Had to lay down, wait for the police to arrest him on the spot. So you got to understand that the accident doesn't mean shit. Name the injuries that are sustained in the accident. Because a lot of people are in accidents where cars get totaled and nothing happened. Being ejected from the car doesn't mean that he had nothing 3 years later. Doesn't mean nothing. Banks OZ, the shit I've seen just this month, a lot of death in Albuquerque. Ven acá, Felito. You want to say good morning? No, we got to go to school. Wait, you didn't say good morning to the people. NYC Alex, J. Smith, bro, I'm letting you know right now that traumatic event does have consequences in the future. Again, but you're talking about that, but you're only generalizing, but you're not saying nothing specific that affected Errol Spence in the ring versus Crawford. You're only talking about different things that you're sidetracking. I'm not disputing that traumatic events can affect. Terrence Crawford got shot in the shoulder. I don't see you bringing that up. I don't see you bringing up, all these fighters are facing a Crawford who got shot and he's still whooping them. You're not saying that. And I think getting shot is a bit traumatic too. Oh. NYC Alex, I don't have his chart. I don't know what he got. So that's the point. If you don't know what he got, why are you assuming? Why are you assuming in favor of him having something or not being good if you don't have anything on him? Bud Crawford beat steroid Canelo. Nah, bro. Errol got his ass beat. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. People just don't want to accept Terrence Crawford's greatness. Rather than say, Terrence Crawford was great that night, put together a historic performance, they prefer to start talking about Errol wasn't the same and start making up injuries that never existed and coming up with stuff that never happened. Come on now. Come on now. NYC Alex, I'm just saying, thinking a medical perspective and the way his situation went out. But how do you say, bro, you know. No, es que hay que ir para la escuela. O pónselo, Mora, lo que tú termines de preparar. Mamita lo va a poner, anda. Okay. Like, you keep bringing up the Ferrari, and it's even irresponsible. In your profession, if you really are practicing medicine, it's irresponsible, bro, for you to say, well, I'm going to make an assumption based on the accident without seeing anything, without having any prior knowledge of anything, without... It's irresponsible, bro, to make assumptions. You know that. You know that doctors in your profession where you work, if you work in medicine, you're not allowed to just make assumptions out of nothing. And that's what you're doing, bro. You're really making shit up out of thin air. I just gave you an example where I saw somebody get ejected from a Ferrari at 140 miles per hour and just had damage to their legs. So you can't do that, NYC Alex. Make stuff up like that. Banks OZ, Crawford is great, but Canelo has been through it, hit by big dudes. I mean, I think that both fighters have been through it. Both fighters have faced some level of adversity throughout their career, and both are great fighters. Banks. Kids grow so fast. That's a fact, man. He's only 3 years old. He's going to be 4 later this year. Big Breeze. Accident or not, he's signing the freaking contract. Why are we still talking about this shit? We still talking about it because Terrence Crawford haters keep bringing it up because they just can't give credit. They can't accept that Terrence Crawford is better than their favorite fighters. That hurts. I understand it hurts, but you got to accept it. Crack, honestly speaking, Crawford was just a better fight to Spence. However, Spence did look like before the fight, like his eye, he looked like he was high or something. Banks OZ, Crawford has been through it. I know that. 42-0. It's 41-0, by the way. It's 41-0. Crawford been through it too. Listen, people don't understand, man. Fighters are human beings. Most of them gone through it. You know that most fighters, they come from the hood. They come from the bottom. They come from places where, you know, your best friend got killed. Your boys in jail. Your family members are doing... Yo, they come from that lifestyle. Everybody going through it, man. Everybody going through it. NYC Alex, I'm just stating my opinion, bro. I'm entitled to use my own description and philosophy behind my theory. Yo, you're allowed to use your opinion, but when you start using your opinion and then start mixing up things and not highlighting the fact that it's simply your opinion, then that's where we going wrong right there. Say, it's my opinion that, you know, that accident, you know, did 10 years on him. That's your opinion. And damn, somebody practicing medicine, that's a horrible opinion. Yo, so if we had somebody else on this chat who practiced medicine, they would tell you that's a horrible opinion. What? You're making an opinion based on an accident that you saw on TV with no knowledge of any other injuries that were sustained? That's crazy work. What kind of med? You're going to fail in med school. They're going to fail your ass with that logic that you got going on. Banks OZ, yeah, it makes sense. Ernest Morales, pure speculation. Spence himself alleges nothing. He's been inactive because of the whooping. That's what I'm talking about. That ass whooping. And it's crazy because we watched Errol Spence put the beats on Danny Garcia. We watched Errol Spence put the beats on Ugas. We watched them. Oh, the accident came back for Terrence Crawford. Now the accident came back. When he was fighting Danny Garcia, putting the beats on him, he was good. He looked good versus Ugas stopped. I just remember. He stopped Ugas. Brutally. So, how do you stop a world champion to become a 3-belt unified champion? But now, all of a sudden, the accident came back when it was time to fight Crawford. Come on, man. Stop. Y'all gotta stop. Stop it. Canelo Floyd's son, NYC Alex, only in the man field for the chicks. and I'm snitching. He using ChatGPT to pass his classes. Bro, there's no way this dude, I find it hard to believe that NYC Alex practice medicine. He trolling us. No responsible person practicing medicine is gonna stand there and say and talk about an accident and make their assessment. Ryan, tú sabes que tenemos que ir para el colegio, mi niño.
Venga, te voy a enseñar.
Está bien, mira,
Mira, te voy a
mira.
enseñar una cosa
Ve,
aquí, ve.
pónselo ahí. No. Then little. Bro, I swear, I'm pre-med. So if you pre-med, what are you doing talking about Errol Spence? What you understand are his injuries, bro. What are you doing? Come on now. You know, if you really are a med student, what are you doing making stuff up out of thin air, bro? Yo, come on, bro. You know, I don't know. You know that it is irresponsible to be out here talking about, come on now. You're not making nothing up. You're not making nothing up. How do you come to the conclusion that the accident added 10 years to Errol Spence's body? How did you come up with that shit? What? You watched on TV, have no knowledge of injury sustained, and you made that assessment? Bro, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna make it. Do something else, bro. Medicine is not your thing. Be a comedian or some shit like that. Ya te lo va a dar ahora, ¿viste? Espérate, vamos a montarte.
Papá.
Vamos a montarte. Sube el pie. Ahí, sube el pie.
Ay, piecito, cuidado.
Sube.
Vamos a ponértelo bien, Liro. Está bien ahí, Liro. Dale la abaniquita, papá.
Hold on, my peoples. We about to keep cooking. Yo te lo guardo, Ryan. Ryan, te lo guardo en la cuna. Está bien, yo te lo guardo en la cuna.
Toma.
What time is it there? Happy 4th. Happy 4th of July to everybody in the U.S., my peoples. Right now it's 7:37 a.m. All right, I love you. Armor GY, the Boxing Scholar Network TV. Where you at? I'm in the Dominican Republic, my G. Live and in full effect. For those of you who tuning in for the first time, my peoples, this is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Mondays through Fridays, starting at 6 a.m., my peoples. Y'all can't be missing out. Can't be. The Boxing Scholar Network TV, I'm a sub. I appreciate you, my G. Really appreciate it. So the topic of conversation for today, and we started at like 6:15 a.m. We've been going for a little bit over an hour. The topic of conversation for today is just all these fights that are going down in July, my people. There's a lot of good fights that are going down, and it's all going to kick off tomorrow. Main event, Jack Catterall, Harlem Eubank. I think that's going to be a heck of a fight, man. Both of them feel real confident, aggressive fighters, like to come forward. I think we're going to get a serious showdown between Catterall and Eubank Jr. And Harlem Eubank. Canelo Floyd's son, Armor G. Bivol, got a mandatory, some German dude. Yeah, but Dimitri Bivol apparently is going to be fighting that trilogy with Beterbiev. Banks OZ, when I heard the motorcycle, I knew it was Caribbean. NYC Alex, proud NYU College of Dentistry graduate. All right then, so look, NYC Alex, if you're a dentistry graduate, then you should know the injuries sustained by Errol Spence were teeth. He lost teeth. That's the only thing that he had a procedure for. to put fake teeth on because he lost teeth. Now, how is losing teeth gonna affect your boxing? How is this damn flu, my people? Shit. How is losing teeth gonna affect your boxing 3 years later? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to tell me. And for movie, do you teach people boxing? I do not teach people boxing, my brother. I do not. I'm not a trainer. I haven't, I could give somebody some tips, but I don't teach boxing, my brother. And I believe that not everybody should teach boxing. There's people out there that's supposedly teaching boxing, and them motherfuckers can't even box. And you out there just teaching somebody how to get beat up. So, some great trainers out there. I think fighters should. If you're a fighter, don't just train boxing with anybody. I think especially younger people, when they want to box, they'll train with anybody who trained them. Anybody could come out of nowhere. I got you. I'll train you. Okay, train me. Don't train with anybody. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there that is going to teach you how to become a punching bag and you don't even know it. They're going to teach you how to get beat up. And, when you box, this is something that we don't talk about a lot and we don't really take into consideration. But, when you box, you putting your life on the line. So if somebody teaching you how to box, it needs to be somebody that they're going to teach you the right techniques. Not just to throw punches, but to defend yourself. Because the hardest, I would say, as somebody who fought in the amateurs and who got in a professional fight, I have to say the hardest part of boxing when you start is to learn defense. Is to learn how to defend yourself. That's hard. When you're new, it's tough, very tough to learn how to slip punches. You get hit with punches a lot. When you start, they're like, yeah, slip this punch. All right, when I see the jab, I'm going to slip it. Why you didn't slip it? Yo, that shit was too fast, bro. How the fuck I was going to slip that shit? So, you take punches. And if you have the right trainers, the right people, they could get you to where you need to go in boxing. But if you training with some goofball who never even been in a boxing gym until he was already an old man. Somebody took him to a boxing gym and he just decided he's gonna be a trainer. That's the problem, my people, with social media these days. People think that you could watch videos, and because you watch a video on YouTube, you could become a trainer too. Then you out there don't even realize you're teaching people how to get beat up, teaching people how to get pummeled. And that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Bank OZ, especially sparring, it's not easy. That's what I'm talking about. And look, there's something about sparring. I'm glad that you brought that up, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why sparring is something that is difficult, but it's very tricky. Real coaches know. Real coaches know. Real good trainers know. Sparring is not meant. Sparring is not meant for you to go hard every time. Sparring is not meant for you to try to knock each other's heads off every time. And that's a big mistake that some people make. When it's time to spar, they try to kill each other, and they do it every time. But what you don't realize, if you're sparring and you always go hard, you're shortening your professional career because you're taking punches to the head. So you're adding to that mileage. So in reality, your sparring is supposed to be, you're like a half your strength. Still using the speed. I'm still using the speed because you're practicing, reaction time. You're practicing your counter punches and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, when you're sparring, You're not supposed to be out there trying to knock each other out. You're not supposed to be out there trying to hurt each other. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is damaging your body in preparation to your fight. You're not supposed to do that. And, you know, you might go to war in sparring for your training camp a bunch of times and win your fight. But if you do that regularly, bro, by the time you're 30 years old, you're going to be cooked. You're going to be washed. And that's why there's things that happen in boxing that we don't get to see. As fans, you see it. You see the fighters on TV. You see the fighters on YouTube. Sometimes you see a fighter like, damn, man, but this guy used to be mad good. What happened with him? And this guy used to go to war. Now one little punch got him dancing salsa in the ring. What happened? Why? Because bro been getting punished in sparring, been going to war, been taking all that leather for years, and it catches up. So sparring, my peoples, is not meant for people to try to knock each other's heads off. Banks OZ, sometimes they touch up in a hard spar before a prize fight like Mayweather or Manny type shit. And look, there's gonna be some hard sparring sessions because you can't prepare for a fight if you don't fight. There's gonna be. But the point is that hard sparring should be minimized. You can't go hard every time because then at the end of the day, you're going to be adding to that mileage to your body. 30 years old, you'll be washed up already if you be sparring like that. Banks OC, sometimes, oh no. Canelo is Floyd's son. NYC Alex, what up with your boy Berlanga? You think he will KO Shiraz? Bro, that Berlanga versus Shiraz fight, I'm going to tell you right now, man, it's either going to make me a believer in Berlanga or he's going to get beat up. Because Shiraz can fight. And I've been a little bit down on Berlanga, bro. The brain. I have a headache this morning from sparring. I'm not a fan of gym wars. If you have a headache this morning, take a rest. Matter of fact, if that headache persists, you should go to the hospital and have yourself checked out. And if it doesn't, you still shouldn't spar for a few days. Canelo's Floyd's son. After that BS with Adames, I would be so happy if Shiraz get KO. You know, I was watching that fight. I was calling that fight live. And I was so disappointed to see the way His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, you know, seemed to intervene in what was going on. And I had Adames winning that fight. I had him winning it, but that's the way it happens, you know. Shiraz got gifted a draw. They kept him undefeated. However, you could say that Shiraz didn't look great, but I'm going to say something that anybody could say, oh, that's an excuse, but we saw it. He also injured one of his hands during the fight, so he wasn't able to let both of his hands go. That's one thing that Shiraz faced, adversity, with his fight with Adames. And Edgar Berlanga lost to Canelo, and he was manhandled. Not just manhandled. Before fighting Canelo, he had a couple of fights where you just wasn't sure if he actually won. Like, it was very close. He didn't look good. NYC Alex, I think Berlanga wins. He showed hard. I didn't think he showed hard versus Canelo at all. To me, that fight, he fought to survive. He fought to make it. He didn't fight to actually win that fight. Dergish Reina, this is my fake ID, but your thought forced me to message you. Love from, that's Ireland. You're notorious Conor McGregor. Salute to everybody in Ireland. Appreciate you dropping in. El Fantasma de Geraldo Leden. I will let this go because it's not the vibe of the chat. I'm telling you, man, some people come with some weird stuff. NYC Alex, bro, you the only one. Wait, bro, you the only one talking. Hot Fantasma, relax, dude. Canelo's Floyd's son. I want to see Joey Hernandez again. NYC Alex, I mean, he fought to get KO for sure. But I mean, he traded when he needed. He wasn't ready for that fight. The way that I saw Berlanga fight Canelo, to me, it just felt like He was there for a paycheck. And he was also looking for a moral victory by saying, look, I went the distance with Canelo. I made it. Because he was there to survive. That's the way that it came across to me. I never saw him at any point where it appeared like he was trying to make a push. He was trying to take it from Canelo. And he just wasn't good enough. Nah, that didn't happen. He was being very cautious, just trying to survive. And I tell you, when a fighter, when his focus is surviving and not being knocked out, it's very hard to stop a fighter like that. Very hard. Because their main focus, just like William Score, his main focus was there to survive. Now, take a look at David Morrell when he fought the Mexican Monster. That's why you gotta respect David Morrell. Went down on his shield. And he was making a push. You could see that he was trying to whoop Benavidez. Landing big shots. You could see what he was trying to do. So he lost. But David Morrell, his stock, in my opinion, in losing to Benavidez, his stock went up. Because you saw the type of fighter that he is. You're like, oh, this guy, he for real. He for real. I believe David Morrell's going to become a world champion, by the way. Banks OZ, I might be something big on Canelo against Bud. That's how much I know Canelo will win. All right, man. Go ahead. Make that bet. Make the bet. Come through. Confirm that you made your bet. And then we're going to talk on the 14th. So that we could talk about how you feel about losing that amount. NYC Alex, go ahead. Time out. I don't give a fuck. Croc, the same as Charlo. NYC Alex, so powerful, Fantasma. Ooh, don't time out, please. Come on, man. Stop arguing, fellas. Let's talk boxing, my people. It's a beautiful thing. Jamie Giblin, Jay, you're the man here from New Zealand. Ooh, New Zealand in the map, my brother. I really appreciate you. And I want to say, man, I've been lucky. I've been surprised. I don't know how in the world this is even happening. I want to say thank you, every one of you that's on the show right now. I want to say thank you guys for the support that I've been getting, for the love that I've been getting from all over the place. Honestly, I don't even know how is this happening. How is it possible? I don't know if it's you guys sharing the content or what it is. But I want to show you guys, look at this list so you can see what you guys are doing. And I don't know how. Like I said, man, I just look at it and I stay shocked. Like, wow, this is crazy. I don't understand how, but it's going down. Watch this, my peoples. I want to show you. Geography. Look, I'm going to read this list to you. Look, those are the people, the countries, the different countries that are watching Box Center, right? So, the United States, obviously. But then look at this. Who's watching Box Center? And I'm talking about Box Center live. When we're live, these are the countries that are tuning into the live. The United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Philippines, Canada, South Africa, India, Japan, Indonesia, and Mexico. How do I end up, or do people end up in all these countries watching Box Center when it's only 1,500 subscribers? I don't even know. I know that we're going global, my peoples, but I don't know how this is happening. I don't know anybody in those countries. I don't know how they finding me. I don't know. But I've been lucky. So again, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been tuning in, who's been showing love, who's been supporting. Those who show up in the super chat, man, salute. I appreciate y'all. Mr. Ninja, hey, my brother. Mr. Ninja, what's the deal, man? Always appreciate you coming through. NYC Alex, Jay Smith, I've been here before arguing. I mean, listen, if you love the sport of boxing, you're welcome to come here and argue. If you've been here before, you know that I'll engage and I'll go back and forth. coming up is nice, seeing the channel grow. You know that I'm the type of person that if somebody engage me, we could go back and forth. And I don't need to disrespect you. I don't need to say stuff about you specifically. Oh, you fat, or you skinny, or you big, or you little, or you. I don't need to do none of that. We talking boxing. I focus on that, and we could go at it. Ernest Morales, you left out El Caribe, but mad love nonetheless. I left out El Caribe. You sure? Well, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. The stats that I'm looking at, I'm reading off of the stats, right? Look, so it's not a list of names that I remember. I'm looking at the stats. Look. See, so during the last 28 days, no one from the Caribbean has tuned in during the last 28 days. Let me see something. Hold on. Yep. Oh, Germany. Germany's in the building too, my peoples. Germany. So New York is actually where I get, well, not New York, the U.S. The U.S. is where I get the most views from, and that's because obviously the content that I create, and the fighters that I know, and the people that I know. So most of my views do come from the U.S., but the United Kingdom is in second place. The UK is showing out. Australia is in third place. Australia showing up for the live. Canada, fourth place. New Zealand, Germany, Philippines, South Africa, India, Indonesia. Like, how are all these countries even finding me, bro? El fantasma de Geraldo Ledén. That's not true, my brother. We here. And I appreciate you 100%, my guy. What happened is, let me show you. I'm going to show you why. Look, and I believe you 100%. What happens is that this thing shows you percentages. So let's say if I got for the month 50,000 views, right? If I'm getting from the Caribbean, out of those 50,000 views, 25 people is not going to show up in the percentages. Look, the lowest percentage that I have is like 0.3. So anything lower than that, it doesn't even reflect on the chart. So I don't have that many. Now, for my shorts, for the short videos that I post, there are people from the Caribbean tuning in. From the short. Ooh. Look, I'm reading the countries from the shorts. Look at this. United States, United Kingdom, Philippines, Japan, Mexico, Indonesia, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's in the building. New Zealand, South Africa, and Australia. Ernest Morales, I'm from El Caribe, PR, and I'm faithful. Ooh, Ernest Morales, appreciate you, my brother. PR showing up in the building. I gotta get more connected with my peoples in Puerto Rico and in all these countries here in the Caribbean. I'm not getting that many views. My people from the most of my views are happening in the U.S. and in Europe. Most of my views, U.S. and Europe. NYC Alex, I'm a New York Rican. De Nueva York, papi. Tú eres de Nueva York, papi. Gary Dixon, Bumbleclad. What's the deal, Gary? Bam, Jamie Giblin. American football is soft. Nah, man, American football is not soft, bro. If you don't like it, that's cool, but it's not soft. NYC Alex, probably, but I rep NYC. Canelo is Floyd's son. I'm a chocolate and Latin guy, but barely any here, only French. JJ's in there has good morning, J Smith. Let's go. Hit the like button. Happy 4th of July. That's a fact, man. Happy 4th of July to everybody. JJ's in there has, you know you my guy, man. It's all love. And by the way, if you haven't hit that like button, the same way Tank Davis ducking Shakur, the same way y'all ducking this like button. Y'all really gonna let me get out of here without letting me get to 30 likes, man? After the knowledge I'm dropping upon thee? Viz, hey, brother, I watch you because you're honest and a nice guy. Your brother from Australia, Viz. Salute, my brother. I always appreciate you tuning in. I always appreciate your support, my brother. Armor G, can boxers defend a double leg? What? Can boxers defend a double leg? Can jiu-jitsu people defend a left hook? JJ's in there. Duck, duck, duck. Gary Dixon. I'm from Seattle, USA. Salute, Gary. Shout out to my peoples in Seattle. I don't know how the hell it's happening if somebody over there is sharing box center, but you're not the first one, man. Seattle been showing up over here. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in, man. Canelo is Floyd's son. I was born in Belgium, then moved to Arizona, Phoenix to study in Switzerland. Man, you got an interesting perspective of the world when you live in different places like that. Jamie Gibbling, the All Blacks, New Zealand. Rugby is hard. Yeah. I mean, listen, rugby is hard. That if it's hard to compare rugby versus football because there's so many different things, the way that they play, the different rules. But I think they both have their own challenges where you got to be very skilled to do it. In fact, I would say that football presents more skill challenges than rugby because rugby is about, it's more about strength and pushing through. Like rugby, you see it more of that. Football has a more technical aspect because in rugby you don't have a quarterback like you have in football, where the pass from inside the pocket, whether the quarterback runs outside the pocket, and if he runs forward, now he cannot pass the ball, only a lateral pass and a backward. Like, there's, I believe, a more technical aspect to football than there is to rugby. Rugby is more of a, push through, power through sport. Football, there's that power aspect, but there's also that finesse, that skill factor. Quarterback, throwing the ball 30 yards, 40 yards, 50, 60 yards. A running back running, stopping on a dime, or a lateral pass. Or, I like football better. I have to say that. NYC had this question: do y'all consider golf a sport? Recent debate I had. Golf is a sport. It's a sport. I think if you never practiced it, it's easy to believe that it's not a sport because, hey, it's not very physical. But no, if you look at all of the best golfers, in order to be that great, all of them lift weights. The majority of them go running. Like, these guys are athletes. They're athletes. Like, for you to have that swing and have it consistent and be able to do it for 36 holes or whatever it is, and be able to do it over the stretch of a weekend, it takes an elite level athlete to be able to actually, perform and get those type of scores. There's a lot of people, listen, my brother, there's a lot of people who will tell you that golf is not a sport, and they go golfing, and I promise you they won't even make it to the 36 holes because you realize that you got to walk. You can't get like in a car and drive from hole to hole. You walk it. There's a lot of people that think, oh, that's not a sport. That's too easy. You're just swinging a little stick. And then guess what? You go play golf and you can't even make it through the whole, through the whole 24, 36, whatever it is. Aksai Kumar. I understand, Aksai Kumar, that as a loser, you need to go on a channel and look for attention for yourself because nobody gives a damn about you. You're in your mother's house, masturbating yourself and looking for somebody to try to troll. You got the wrong one, buddy. Go somewhere else and be a loser somewhere else. You're talking about I'm cooked while you're watching me on your screen. You're cooked, you goofball. You're definitely cooked. So stop. That loser stuff doesn't work with me. Stop. Please. You're frustrated and lonely. You just need attention. A girl. Go get a girl. That's what you need in life. I'm not even going to block you because I want you to keep coming back at me so I can really cook you. Canelo Floyd's son. I'm getting ripped, my man. 15%. Trust me. When you lose body fat, you look better and feel better. Be lean with muscle. That's a fact. That is a fact. People underestimate the effects that eating healthy has on their body. Not just losing the weight and gaining the muscle, but eating healthy, what it does. Javier Hernandez, when I box, I also play soccer. And soccer endurance is the key. And I said this before, certain people who practice certain sports, they're able to start boxing late and still, you know, get somewhere because they already have a certain level of athleticism. But to give you an example, if you play pool, if you're nice at playing pool, that doesn't mean you're gonna be able to become a boxer. There's certain things that's not gonna help you in boxing. JJ Sendejas, get him the fuck out of here, Jay Smith. Well, I was waiting for him to come back in one more time so I could really give him a last cooking, but it looks like he got the picture and went to be a loser somewhere else. Gary Dixon, Muay Thai or kickboxing? I mean, I like Muay Thai better, like watching it, simply because you got the knee strikes, you got the elbow strikes, and it makes it an interesting watch. The aggressive style that you see from those type of fighters. So if it's for me to watch, I prefer Muay Thai. My peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. Before I do, y'all know how I always end the show. But before I do what I do, let me show y'all something. Remember what I don't know, for those who was here on yesterday's live, from now on, I'm always gonna end the show with a YouTube video, with a YouTube short. Why? Because a lot of y'all don't get to watch the shorts. Javier Hernandez, late, brother. Good day, my G. A little bit late, but better late than not being there. So I appreciate you coming through. So check it out, my peoples. Before I end the show, I'm gonna play one of the videos that I have posted as a short. I want to motivate you guys to check out the shorts, man, because I know you guys, when we come on the live, we go back and forth, we debate, all that. But you're missing out on a lot of good videos, my peoples. I'm posting a lot of good content that you haven't seen. So here's a 40-second short, a 45-second short to end the show. My brother, right now it's 8 in the morning here in the Dominican Republic. Here's a video to end the show. Check this out, my peoples. They never box or study the sweet science. See, that's the thing, my peoples. When you've been watching boxing on TV for a long time, you start to think that you're an expert. And you start to feel like you're an expert. And then you start expressing yourself. You don't know what it takes to get to that level. You don't understand what it takes to become a world champion. To beat highly ranked opponents and get a title shot and actually win it. You don't know what it takes. Only got 10 fights. You sound goofy as hell. You don't know shit about boxing. So there you have it, my peoples. I want to give a shout out before I get out of here. My brother JJ Sendejas, one of the biggest Terrence Crawford haters in the planet, NYC Alex, Gary Dixon, Ernest Morales, my brother Javier Hernandez, who came in a little bit late, but he showed out for me. El Fantasma de Geraldo Ledén. Yo, everybody who hit the like button. We got to the 30 likes. At least y'all got me there. Y'all could have got me a few more, but I'm cool with the 30 likes. I really appreciate that. Somebody showed up on the super chat today. I appreciate you, my guy. Jamie Giblin, El Fantasma de Geraldo Ledén, Ernest Morales, Carlos Floyd's son was in the building. Yo, everybody who came through, y'all already know, man. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I'm Jay Smith. I'm going to see you tomorrow, my peoples. We're going to do it again. Be ready. Tomorrow, there's a special episode of Boxing for Breakfast. We're going to be getting ready for the fights. You know it. Jake Catterall, Harlem Eubank, they're going to trade some nasty leather. They're going to trade some nasty leather, my people. I'm trying to tell you. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to talk about all these fights. Salute, bam, peace, and love to everybody who tuned in, man. Take care of yourself. God bless you and your family, everybody you love. I'm out of here, my peoples. I gotta go.